Yo, the next 10 minutes can be fire. Hopefully you guys get something out of this. There's tons of wisdom being shared. And if you guys like this or want to see more of it, smash that like button, comment below, and maybe we'll continue doing this. I think another cool concept that I recently learned was having goals and having standards. Mm-hmm. So having something that you're striving after every day. So for example, if your goal is to read 10 pages every day, then you also have a standard that you never go below. So you're striving for the 10, but you never go below 5 pages. And so sets you up for success in a bunch of different ways, whatever it is that you're tracking. So I know sometimes it's you have a really good day and you want to make 10 calls, but then there's days where you're well, 10 calls is probably not a good day, but you get what I'm saying, the gist of having goals and standards.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of a cool concept that I was thinking about writing down, on a daily basis to achieve your goals. What is the goal and what is the standard that you don't fall below?
Yeah.
It's funny because I think people talk constantly about, in the dating world, they say, well, he's a nice guy, she's a nice girl, so it's a good catch. And it's well, they're good to you because they're nice. Just being nice alone was your standard. But there's so many other qualities, or you could raise those standards and attract a better quality person in your life. That's what the goal is too, right? So if you just give yourself a low-level standard of, I'm not going to do drugs, that's kind of your standard. Right. But if you up it, you're going to accomplish more. You're going to be a better quality because you have better, higher standards.
Yeah, another perspective is it always sets you up. How many times do you have a good day where you feel okay, I could do another workout? But then there's those days where you're man, I really don't want to go to the gym. So then you only hit your standard that day. Yeah. So on the days that you do feel good, you do a little bit more and you try to hit your goal. Yeah. And it keeps you in a healthy balance where you're never out of it.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. And staying disciplined, Because I feel motivation is just so fleeting. Yeah. So it's what do you fall back on? Well, it's I set out this year I was going to do this, I said I was going to do that, so I'm doing it regardless. I think that's so key. Yeah.
What's that quote they say about your discipline, your habits? You have to do your habits so much so that at one point it's no longer your motivation that's getting you by, it's your routine.
Yep.
What's that quote that they say?
There's so many quotes.
It's something along those lines, but it's there's days you're not gonna have motivation, let's be honest. Yeah. But if you're so used to that discipline, you're gonna do what you have to do anyways because you're doing it.
Yeah, and it just becomes who you are. Yeah. Hitting the gym twice a day, hitting a weight training workout and then training mixed martial arts in the afternoon or something. Starting off doing that, it was terrible. Yeah. But over time it's just this is what we do now. Yeah. This is it. This is who I am. It almost feels weird if I'm not doing that. When I took over,
it's becoming a routine.
Yeah, when I took over the gym, I've been there every single day. So I took 1 day off around Christmas, and it was what am I doing? I was getting anxious. It was
That's cool.
It was so weird. It's cool, but it's so true. What you consistently do day to day, it just becomes who you are. Yeah. And you don't even need motivation for that. You just wake up and do it. So
that's true.
That's funny that's actually what stopped my shot. So I think it was 17 weeks without missing a single day of training. I was running a mile every day, doing a certain amount of push-ups every day, doing a certain amount of squats on top of my normal training. Yeah. And I didn't miss my birthday, I didn't miss any holiday, I didn't miss anything. Nice. And then I went out, hung out with some friends, got sick, and missed the next morning. And I felt so horrible. I was that was not worth what I was doing.
Yeah.
And
that
so I
one night.
Down with it. Yeah. But I think it's huge, going back to standards, the standards of people that you hang around with. I think everyone in this room is a very high-level individual with the way that they think and what their goals are and what they're planning to do. I think you hanging out with Ethan consistently, guaranteed you on an investment by the end of the year. You hanging out with Brett, you guys are working out, you guys are training together. Ivan, his goals and the numbers and his knowledge, that's going to translate across the board. I've been preaching this for a while.
Being a Jose and Nev, you'll be reading constant
Jose,
books,
you're
constant podcasts.
Dressing a little cooler. You're gonna
reading more.
Yeah, but like a cool thing I've been preaching is like Ethan was someone I really wanted to connect with for a while, and then Michelle built the connection, and now luckily he's around here. And Christian was another one. Like I actually had to put work into like building that relationship with him. Yeah. And so now us like golfing together and like hearing what he's doing and the numbers he's doing changes the way I think. Hearing the houses you own, being in the business changes the way I think. Like it's super motivating. And like every time I hang out with anyone in here, you and like the conversations we have, like, picking Ivan's brain the other day, Jose's, mine, and like all the knowledge he pulls. And, like, working out with Brett on Wednesday will be exciting, but
I think it'd be cool to see like kind of like going off of like the year thing too, is like how big this group could actually become.
Yeah.
Because like the goal's
invite your friends, guys. Invite anyone you want.
The goal's not just to have like a couple people that are like, you know, doing this, but like what if this was like a bigger picture?
Yeah.
Like us actually setting goals. Like how rare is it for like
at
people
Caleb's
you meet?
investment property that he buys. We'll meet there.
Well,
yeah.
I always think about stuff at the gym. Like I think it's so crazy how the gym reflects into life. And it's like in my head, if I want to get more fit and I go and start working out with the fittest people in the gym, like I feel like that's the fastest way it's gonna happen. If you're hanging out with them, working out with them, eating what they eat, it's like you're not gonna be the fat dude who's ordering taquitos and stuff. Like you're gonna be putting work, you're gonna be hitting the gym twice a day or whatever it is. And so it's inevitable in all ways of life, I feel.
Yeah, same thing with martial arts. I feel like martial arts taught me that. It's like, you know, you train with the best, you're gonna eventually start coming. Like, you know that with wrestling. Like, you wrestle with the best people, you know, you pick up from them, you get humbled a lot, but then you take those beatings and it just makes you better, you know? Then just going and smashing, you know, nobodies. So.
Something my brother and I talked about a lot because he was looking to buy a house and he's like, oh, I'm looking to buy like a $600,000 house. He's like, that's a lot for me. I can't even. And I was telling him, the only reason you think $600,000 is a lot for a house is because you grew up out here. Like if you grew up in Orange County where that was the normal.
That wasn't even normal.
$1 million would be a deal for the house. And it's like, your limited beliefs are surrounded by the people you surround yourself with, the environment you surround yourself with. But if you take yourself out and make your new normal different, you change everything. Yeah.
It took me a long time to understand limited beliefs because our broker would talk about it all the time at our meetings, and I'd be like, I don't have a limited belief. What is this lady talking about? Like, I believe I could do anything. But then as we started talking, then I realized, like, why do I find a $600,000 house expensive? You know, I would catch myself saying that. I'm like, it's because I'm limiting myself to what's here. So then we start going to Newport more often, and you're like, how come all these people can afford $10 million houses so easily, cash?
Yeah.
And then now my mindset's changed to like, okay.
Yeah, it's just...
like, they did it. Like, what the heck? I could do it too.
I think Alex Hormozy talks about that too, right? Like, the thing that holds you back is, like, the things that you think are true that aren't actually so. Yeah. So it's like, you think that $600,000 is a lot, but like you said, like, why do you think that?
Yeah.
Because there's people who are making that in a month, like, from YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me.
And imagine if that's the 3, 4, 5 people you're hanging out with on a weekly basis. Like, your standard changes instantly.
Oh yeah. I think it's cool to see like how our friendships are like complement each other too. Like everyone has like a different like mindset or like a different piece of like your puzzle. Yeah. It's like, dang, like I needed that one liner that Bobby was talking about, or like, you know. That's why I think it's super valuable to like hang out like this and do stuff like this. Yeah.
What's cool about this group too is everyone here, when I hear them talk, it's never about me. It's always like my mom, my dad, my family, who I want to give back to. And I think that's what I love the most. It's in a lot of circles when you're talking about money and success, it's a lot about greed. Whereas in this group, it's not about greed. It's honestly like achieving things so you can give back to the ones who helped you. And that, to me, speaks volumes. Like, that's who I want to surround myself with. I don't want to be around greedy people because I don't want to become greedy, you know?
No.
So that's pretty cool.
I like that being a good person like didn't go out of style with like our group too.
Yeah.
Like none of us are like bad people. Like we all, like you guys said, like all of our goals are surrounded around like the people we want to help, the family that we want to take care of, like all that stuff. Like
I'm excited that we're all sharing our goals too, because if there's something I can help you or something that you can help him, or I think that's gonna be good too, because I mean all of you guys are pretty much new to me, for the most part. I'm kind of the new guy on the block, so I'm excited to see how we can all kind of collaborate throughout the year.
We were all new guys at one point. I think I barely met Jose New Year's Day. So it's okay.
On New Year's Day?
We met at our conference, but it was like high five. But our first actual